Pascal. You're now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild. Haitian in the building, so perfect rich and now got the haters catching feelings. Get your head to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Find somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody in Scott.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. We got some updates revolving around this particular case that we've been covering and following for a little while. We got some new stuff that's been going on, and I know that it's going to, ruffle a few feathers, and some other people are going to be very excited and very happy about this. But nonetheless, it is news, and it is a developing piece of information that has just come out just now. So please do me a favor, or just a little bit ago. So please do me a favor. Hit the like button down below, please and thank you. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Make sure if you are watching on those other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please make sure you're hitting that follow button, okay? Follow if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right? Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. We got some videos going to be coming out on that second channel here very, very soon. So just giving you guys that update. All right. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, there might be something new on this channel. It might be a short video that I might be doing. I'm going to try something I haven't done in a very, very long time. We'll see. We'll see if there's enough time. Okay. So make sure that notification bell is set to all on both channels. So you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of it is random. Okay? Crush it. All right? That notification bell. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, don't forget, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. All righty, guys. Okay, guys. As we know about this whole case, okay? Again, if you haven't heard anything about this case, I highly recommend you guys go and check out all the videos that I've done as of late, all the live shows that we've done so far discussing this case, all right? We're going to get straight into the information, okay? Because we're not going to be here for a very long show because I got some other stuff to share with you guys a little bit later on today. But just so you guys know, all right, for those of y'all who may be a little late to the party, there was a situation out in Frisco, Texas, where two high school students, one by the name of Karmelo Anthony and the other one by the name of Austin Metcalf, they got into an altercation over a seat, literally a seat, a bench, a place on the bench, okay, at this track meet. It got so heated and so sad that one of the kids here lost his life, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, due to Karmelo Anthony taking out a sharp object, a knife, and plunging it into the chest of Austin Metcalf. Now, obviously, all y'all, if you don't know this story, I'm surprised. Okay, but welcome to the show. All right, welcome to the show. Okay. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we are going to keep close watch on this whole situation. But what's very wild about this situation is obviously not just only what happened to this young man, okay? This very, very young man, but also what Karmelo Anthony claims to have happened. He is citing self-defense. He's saying that he was messed with. He gave Austin Metcalf fair warning, saying, touch me and see what happens, basically. All right. And this is literally what he says, according to arrest reports. Of course, there's been an ongoing question, an ongoing debate on whether this is self-defense or not. A lot of people are throwing in the race card in this mug as well, because Austin Metcalf is white and Karmelo Anthony is black. And we've talked about that till the wheels fall off. So, like I said, if you don't know the case and where I stand on this whole situation, then you need to go back and check out these other videos that I've put out that we've done as of late. Okay, this is a tragic story where both kids should not be in the places that they are right now. One should not be 6 feet under, and another one should not be behind bars, looking at potentially living the rest of his days behind bars. Of course, with the possibility of parole, but still potentially being behind bars for a very, very, very long time. It's still a tragic situation. Choices were made that did not need to be made. And we don't know the full scope of everything. We don't know if Austin was being a bully. We don't know if he was being uber aggressive or not. We don't know if Karmelo was being aggressive and being, just being a straight up tyrant. We don't know that. All we know is that Austin Metcalf lost his life and Karmelo Anthony is now behind bars. Now, what's interesting about this situation, moving on from all the race crap and all the rumor mill and all that, one thing is for sure. Karmelo Anthony was looking at a bail of $1 million. It was a $1 million bond when he first was arrested and processed. And his team, they really were trying, the moment he was arraigned, the moment he was brought in, they said, we are going to try our best to reduce his bail. We're going to try to drop it from the $1 million, and we're going to try to reduce it as best as we can. Today, just a little bit ago, there was Karmelo Anthony's first real court hearing, all revolving around this bail. And now we have heard and have learned that his bail has been massively reduced. So instead of it being $1 million bail, it is now $250,000. It went from $1 million all the way down to $250,000. Now, I know some of y'all are going to be mad about that. Some of y'all upset about that. And some of y'all think, hey, it's fair. Yay. Because a lot of y'all believe that this is self-defense. And a lot of y'all don't believe it is. A lot of you guys want him to get hit, slapped upside the face with justice. And I will say this. He has every right to fight what he needs to fight. This is his legal right as a American citizen. He has the right to raise money to get the best legal representation he can get. And he has a right. His team has the right to request a lesser bond. And that's exactly what they did today. So he could very well get out today, okay, on bond. But he's still going to have to show and represent and be there for court for what he has done. I also will say this too. I hope to God that the people around him keep him safe, because you already know that there's been threats. The family's home has been the family has been doxxed, where they live, etc. They're getting all kinds of threats. Okay, and I'm sure the threats have not stopped. And here it is. Like I said, if this was Kyle Rittenhouse, Daniel Penny, if this was any other person, I would say the same thing too. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you are on. Doesn't matter what race you are. At the end of the day, we need to leave the families alone. Real talk. Leave the family alone. Leave the families alone on both sides. Okay? Because I'm sure it's not only the Anthony family that are getting harassed. I'm sure the Metcalf family is getting all kinds of harassment as well. And do both families deserve it? No, they don't. They have every right to represent themselves legally in a court of law and fight for their own version of justice. So if the Anthony family wants to fight and get their son possibly a lesser charge, that's their legal right. If he gets to walk, that's his legal right. All right? That's just what it is. Okay? Don't hate the messenger. Don't blame the messenger here. These are facts. And you would expect the same thing if it was yourself or your own kid, right? And of course, you wouldn't want people going on, knocking on your door and sending you text messages and things like that are very threatening and unnerving. Are you kidding me? No. Things that are all racially motivated, slurs, etc. No. No one deserves that. It does not matter. Let him have his time in court. First and foremost. But what's interesting about this is they have now reduced his bail. And like I said, some people going to be mad, big mad about that, just in their feelings. But at the same time, hey, he has legal representation. He was able to bring that up. They were able to bring that up, and the judge agreed and allowed a lesser sentence. So that's what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles, right? Now, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this here. And real quick, let me grab this too. Bonita, thank you so much for being a member for the past 16 months. Thank you. Good afternoon, Pascal, mods, chat. Happy Monday, everyone. God bless y'all. God bless you too. Okay, blessings to everyone in the chat as well. Thank you so much for your support. So a teen, which we already know about this. Okay, he fatally attacked Austin Metcalf. Okay, Austin Metcalf lost his life. Now this bail has dropped from $1 million to $250,000. So Anthony was in court. Karmelo Anthony was in court as he faces a first-degree M charge for the unaliving of Austin Metcalf, which we already know about this. When he posts bond, the accused killer will have to wear an ankle monitor and cannot leave his parents' home without permission from Judge Angela Tucker. So Anthony has more than $400,000 of crowdfunding cash at his disposal and will only be required to pay 10% of his new bail, meaning he will almost certainly be home soon, which, you know what, for a 17-year-old kid who is going to be facing some things, I'm sure he'd probably rather be home locked up than locked up in a jail. Let's be real, okay? But I know some people will feel like, oh, he's getting out. What the hell? Lock him up, right? Well, you know, it is what it is. We've seen many other serial monsters too get out, right? Some crazy stuff has happened in the past. Oh, shoot. Let's not forget monsters that have done things to littles get their bail reduced, or they find a way to raise money to get out. And that's crazy too, right? But moving on, let's see. So the teen wore a gold jumpsuit, handcuffs, and chains as he watched his defense lawyers. As he watched defense lawyers ask for a bond to be lowered to $150,000, citing age and lack of criminal history. Prosecutors had asked Anthony's father, Andrew Anthony, why he could not use the more than $400,000 in donated funds for his son's defense to pay the original $1 million bond. And Andrew Anthony told the court that he has no access to the donated funds and could not afford to pay a $1 million bond, as reported by CBS 11 News. Anthony's lawyers also said the money was not for bail and instead should be used for a legal defense. That's what the lawyer said. Well, we need that money. Don't you? No. Give us we can't give it to everybody else. You know what I mean? We can't give it to the bond. That's for us. Give us some money. I mean, that's interesting. Anthony's father was also questioned in court over an incident in the teen's high school, back in February that involved an altercation, quote unquote, assault. It is not clear whether Anthony was an aggressor, victim, or witness in this incident, which was handled internally by the Frisco's Independent School District. Now, what's interesting, there has been rumors flying out here. Don't know if this is entirely true or not, but there has been rumor of him like saying that in the past he had a weapon on him and he was in trouble for having this weapon on him in school. I don't know if that's entirely true, but that is a rumor that is flying out here right now. Okay. Defense also questioned Anthony's father and mother, who said his son is an A student and captain of the football team and track teams at his high school. Anthony was described as the oldest of three children who had never been arrested before this whole situation, before this tragedy. He was the captain of the football team and track teams at school and worked at Foot Locker, as well as a second job at a HEB supermarket prior to this tragedy. Metcalf's unalignment has divided the Frisco community, and nation at large. Okay, Judge Tucker said they've never had the security issues they've faced with this case. A spokesperson for the Anthony family was previously forced to deny that the accused that Anthony Karmelo had been bullied by Austin before the fatal confrontation at the match. The two boys had never met one another prior to this horrific tragedy. Just before his bond hearing on Monday, Anthony's family retained Mike Howard. So they got rid of the two that they had. They had two lawyers. They got rid of those. They got rid of those lawyers, and they brought in a brand new lawyer. Okay, so Mike Howard is the new lawyer. All right, he is a Dallas criminal defense attorney. His lawyers, Billy Clark and Kim T. Cole, confirmed with WFAA Saturday that they will no longer be representing Anthony, while the Next Generation Action Network, a nonprofit supporting the teen, announced the legal change. All right. So the confrontation happened between these two football stars. This began when Austin told Karmelo he was sitting under another team's pop-up tent and told him to move. And of course, after that, touch me and see what happens. There was a little bit of a scuffle, it sounds like, and then a knife was plunged into Austin Metcalf's chest. Now, there is some footage of them actually going in to the into the courtroom or into the courthouse. Okay, let's take a look at that. I mean, not very action packed, but there's more stuff here we're going to take a look at as well. But again, this whole thing has been reduced. This is from Smash the Topic. I do want to share this. I do think this is interesting. And this is, of course, outside of the courthouse. All right. There's apparently some things that are in here as well. So I want to share this so we can take a look at this too. But again, Karmelo Anthony's bail has been reduced, and it looks like for sure he will be let go. He will be let out. He'll be on an ankle monitor. He won't be able to do much until he'll have to sit in his home and wait for the time that he gets put into a courtroom to fight this out. And like I said, my main concern is people be wilding out here. And there have been some seriously violent things that have been said on the internet. And again, like I said, people are doxing this family. People are harassing this family. And I don't know, in a way, I feel like it might be better for him to be behind bars, real talk. But because then you can at least protect the kid, right? But if he's home, they're going to have somebody surveying him all the time or protecting him all the time, because people be wild out here, especially if people get wind of their actual address. Forget about it. It's a recipe for disaster. Long story short, but let's take a look at this. Okay, shout out to this page here. Let's take a look at this. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
You're good. I'll be close. So we waiting, everybody. We waiting to see the lawyers from the come.
Here we go. This is the part I'm waiting for. But just so that you guys know, for those of y'all who are late to the party, Karmelo Anthony's bail was at first $1 million and got reduced to $250,000. Now, I don't know if it's because of his, that he has no arrest record. He has no history of violence, really, of any kind. Maybe because he is an upstanding student and, captain of his football and his track team. So maybe those were some reasons for them to say, okay, we can let him go. Or the fact that he was going to be under the guise of his parents. That could also be true as well. And again, let me just say this. He comes from a very affluent family. Okay. This is not like he grew up off the streets and all that stuff. No, he comes from an affluent family. Both parents, he comes from a very successful, from very successful parents. Okay. So again, not a torn home or anything of that sort. Just so y'all know. Okay. Because some of y'all out there saying things like trying to say that he's the full embodiment of the stereotype out here in these streets. No, he was not. Okay. No, he was not. So again, that may be a factor in all of this as well. Okay. Because if he really was a full-on threat, if this judge really truly believed that he was a full-on threat, he'd still be locked up. And that bail would not have budged. So that's something to think about as well. And again, don't blame the messenger. I'm just speaking facts here. Okay. Possible facts here as well. All right. Because I'm not in the judge's mind, but those are interesting facts nonetheless. Also, let's not forget, just so you know, the his lawyer, Karmelo's lawyer, asked for a $150,000 bail, and somehow the judge said, "No, we gonna go with 250." So that's something that's interesting as well. So that still tells you something. It's not like the judge just said, "Okay, we'll give you 150,000." That didn't happen, y'all. Okay. So again, very interesting stuff. But let's see what they got to say here.
House arrest, able monitoring.
Good morning, everybody. There's not much I can say, but the judge.
Yeah.
They own it. You got to.
Can you come this way or?
Come closer. Sure.
By the way, never buy any of these microphones. These are the worst microphones in the history of microphones. You know the ones on TikTok? Don't buy them. They're trash.
Okay, that's fine right there.
All right, there's not much I can say. The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next. That's pretty much all I can say right now. We do our speaking in as far as the facts go in the courtroom. Many of you were in there, so you understand what was said. But this is a terrible tragedy for our entire, not just Frisco, but Collin County community. One family has suffered a permanent loss. It's the most unnatural thing for a parent to lose their child. It's permanent, it's profound, it's certainly premature, and it's the hardest thing that I think a human being can go through is to lose their child. The Anthony family has had a different kind of loss, but not a loss nonetheless. But the judge has made her call, and we look forward to continuing the process and looking forward to reviewing all the facts of the case that Frisco PD is coming up with and presented to a grand jury. What we are concerned about as prosecutors is justice, truth, and accountability. And so we will go where the facts lead us. Thank you so much.
Could you speak about the security and the vitriol and just the safety even for the judge and your officer?
Even the judge? Shambling ding dong.
This has definitely rocked our entire community. And so It has struck a nerve in the community, and it's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this. So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads. Thank you so much.
And what is your
Thank you.
title? For those that don't
I
know.
need my microphone back.
District Attorney. Thank you. District Attorney, and
I mean, clearly this is obviously this has torn up the entire town. This has torn up the entire country and the whole world, because obviously everybody's been on this one like crazy. It is absolutely nuts what has happened, right? And again, yeah, Alice Wonder. I mean, that's one of the arguments that is going on right now as we speak. The argument right now is the whole thing of the stand your ground argument. Is this viable in this particular case? Now, I don't have the answer to that because we don't know everything as of yet. All we have is what's being said in those arrest records and what's being said by, eyewitnesses. And we had to take that with a grain of salt as well. What the eyewitnesses said outside of the arrest records or arrest reports. I'm sorry. Okay. There's been other people saying other things as well. Right. And then of course we only have what Karmelo Anthony has said, basically saying, hey, I was trying to, I was protecting myself. It was self-defense. He put his hands on me. He found out. He effed around and he found out type situation, right? And unfortunately, those are all the information that we got. We either take his word for it and ride with that, or we sit back and we wait for more information. Now, I understand that they do have videos. And trust me, I'm sure they got plenty of videos. And they have multitude of people. They have a multitude of individuals that have spoken out, that are witnesses, that they have interrogated, that they have interviewed, and I'm sure they will be brought in as witnesses when it comes to this trial. So all I say is we got to sit back and wait for the information before we jump all the way in and say, oh, it's this, that, and the third. Like I said, some of this video I'm sure will leak. And when it does, we going to see it all. We going to see it. We're going to be like, oh, that is self-defense. Oh, that is without a shadow of a doubt self-defense. Or, oh, damn, that's not self-defense. He just attacked that kid. Why did he do that? I'm telling you right now, we're going to be able to see that in the videos. But I know even when we do the video stuff, somebody going to try to turn it around and try to make it look like something that it's not. But I think that this is going to be very straightforward. And once that footage is seen, either it'll sway people to the other side, or I don't know, maybe it'll just spark off another debate altogether. But let's continue on here, guys. Again, we don't know everything because we don't have all the facts. So let's wait till we get all the facts too. You know what I mean? Continue.
I'd like to say
He didn't take no questions.
How you doing, Bob?
Doing good. You don't come up this far north usually, do you?
Man, I had to come for this,
Goes
baby.
everywhere. He didn't take no questions.
No, and then who else was waiting on? That's all.
Well, the families are all still inside as far as we can tell, unless they get them out the back. They don't usually do that, but they got cars out here, so.
But I think the lawyer is supposed to come up here and say something.
Yeah, but they told us they have this weird rule. We can only interview the DA inside the lobby. Everybody else has to be interviewed
Oh,
outside.
so now we gotta go out.
So
Okay.
that's why everybody's packing up now.
Okay.
Here we go.
having a weapon on a prohibited premises.
Let me see some.
So they have to be processed. So they're gonna try to make bond and they're gonna use some of
Okay.
the funds,
Here we go.
but we don't know when it is. Oh, here they come. This is Dominic Allen.
Okay, so that is the lawyer. That is the lawyer that's representing now. This is the lawyer that is representing Karmelo now. Okay.
We can't do this in here. We have to go.
We have to go out.
What's up, John? What's up, John? What's up with it?
Hit that like button down below, guys, please and thank you.
I think they're a little bit taller. So
Okay.
if you want to go right there. Yeah.
And before we continue, please hit that like button down below. Please, please, please. Let's just get it to. Can we get it to like you know what? Can we get it to 400 likes, please? Let's just get it to 400 likes. That would really mean a lot. Okay, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, we're gonna continue on. All right, let's get it to 4. Let's go.
This is Karmelo Anthony lawyer. Come on with.
Okay.
Right here on that crowd.
Right up front. Go ahead and mic you up. Y'all ready?
Get that closer, Billy.
Are you ready? 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds? Okay. Good? Everybody good? Every Texan has the right to defend themselves when they reasonably fear for their life. Self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are 2 sides to every story. And Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
Mike, you took umbrage with the state's assessment that this was simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's 2 sides to every story, and we've only heard one side. In any criminal case, the police investigate, and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that we keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation.
Is your client going to be able to make bond and get out today?
I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go. Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out. And then, there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is, why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice, that let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Karmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
How has he?
Your feeling on the reduction of this bond? You feel it's fair?
Yeah, I feel it's fair. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Karmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
What was Karmelo's reaction today? He didn't seem very talkative toward you. And how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager? And is he on suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Karmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. I think we have to all remember Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never been in any sort of trouble before. If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process. And I can't even imagine what was going through his head, just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So, this is something that is new to all of them and incredibly trying.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? I mean, what is your experience? I mean, you had to be really good.
I can't speak as to why I was selected. In any case, it's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in the case.
Just how unsafe does this family feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine the press coverage on this case has been immense, and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction one way or the other has been intense. And threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. So I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down. That the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that everyone does, but at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully for both sides. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grab that mic from you. Thank you so much.
I almost took your mic. Appreciate it.
Huh.
Thank you guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good.
So I'm going to pause right there for a second. Okay. So, I feel like that is a fair, I feel like what the his team, what Karmelo Anthony's lawyers just said is a fair thing to say, which is like he obviously is still new to this whole case. He is trying to assess it as much as he can, as much information as he can before he jumps all the way into, certain things. But I think, obviously he believes that Karmelo Anthony had the right to protect himself, that he had stand your ground, that it was a self-defense situation. And now it'll be his job to prove to the courts, hey, this was self-defense. And let me show you why, right? So again, very interesting. I am kind of wondering why, though, that the other two lawyers dropped out. They had two different lawyers that were representing him, and then suddenly they dropped out. So I'm wondering why they dropped out. But other than that, this lawyer came in, said, hey, we need to reduce the bail. They were able to find a happy medium. They dropped it $250,000 to $250,000, $250,000 instead of $1 million. And we're going to see what he going to do, right? And see if he's really worth every single penny that they've raised for Karmelo Anthony.
I gotta go to the dentist.
All right.
Get my braces.
All right.
Yes. And only 10% of the bill needs to be paid. Absolutely. There's another part near the end here. Okay, it's coming up.
Boss.
Look, I should tell you to take me to my car. Y'all be safe.
Okay, nothing there.
So again, guys. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good, Smash. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Working on
I
that,
see.
that SB3 kick down.
Okay.
You're the star, man.
Nah, there you go, Bob. So listen, 250K is his bond got lowered to 250,000, guys. The bond got lowered to 250,000. You go be on house arrest, leg monitor, stuff like that. I'm gonna post it. I didn't get a chance to do the. I'm gonna post the edit down some of the video, and that's what I'm gonna do. Let me do that. So. And folks, because they ain't. So for the people that just tuning in, so you know it's gonna be a lot of mad folks because they ain't want that 250. They ain't want that bond lower. But see, you gotta look at it at this point too, guys. 250,000 is the bond reduction. 25,000 get out, 10%. Some people might even do it for 20, depending. You know, I know about this because my bond was 350,000, so I got out on 12,000. So I already know. You know what I'm saying? So you might get it down to 15, 10. So I know for a fact it can be done. But anyway, this ain't about me. It's long time ago, guys. Long time ago. But anyway, so now people, you know, like the situation go, murder, manslaughter, prohibited weapons on school grounds. I'm gonna say that. So from the looks of everything, because of the self-defense accusations that he said, also that video come out, go show or go tell a lot, but they didn't know each other, so automatically murder is with intent. So the intent out. So it should that's manslaughter now. The intent out there. So now it's all about mama. What? Well, I'm still live. Now just tell everybody what was it? What was his stipulations?
Oh, it's a $250,000 reduction to $250,000. Ankle monitor, house arrest. He has to report to the judge even if he goes out the door. And anything that he does outside of that, he violates his bond.
Bond. Yeah, okay.
And the monies can be. They are going to bond them out with some of the money that was collected. However, there are guidelines that they have to follow with the family. And just let me say this real quickly. People out there listening, justice is about fairness. Justice is about investigating. And we as a people, the people of America, need to understand that and respect that this was only fair that bond get reduced, because it's not supposed to be a way of keeping someone incarcerated. I'm not in agreement with anything either way, but as someone who can relate to both sides, fairness and justice is a must. And it's only fair that young man's bond got reduced.
Okay. Appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there's that video. And again, you know, what say you? What say you on that? Do you agree with what she's saying, or do you not agree with what she just said there at the end? You know, is this fair? Is this not fair? Those are the questions I leave up to you guys. Okay. Let me see here. Hold on. Just seeing if there's any more info. Yeah, this is all. We already saw all this. Hold on.
Good morning, everybody.
We already saw all this. Sorry, guys. Just saw it. Boom. Let's see.
Within the last hour, a judge granted the request to lower the bond for a North Texas teen facing capital murder charges. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing another student at a track meet in Frisco. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense. Chris Sadeghi live from the courthouse in McKinney. And Chris, the judge heard from Anthony's family this morning before making her decision.
Yeah, Kara, this hearing just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. In it, we heard from Karmelo Anthony's father. He testified about his son. And in the end, the judge did decide to lower the bond from $1 million to $250,000. Karmelo Anthony entered the courtroom handcuffed, wearing a yellow inmate jumpsuit. He spoke only to identify himself to the judge and stared straight forward while his father, Andrew Anthony, testified about how his son is the oldest of 4 siblings, a straight-A student, active in his church, and worked 2 jobs while serving as captain of the football and track team. To this point, he's not had any criminal history. All factors his defense brought up when asking the judge to lower the bond. The amount they were asking for was $150,000. The prosecution, though, argued the bond should have stayed at $1 million, even asking Andrew Anthony about the online fundraiser that's raised $412,000 for his son's defense. Ultimately, though, the judge said the purpose of bond is not a punishment, but to ensure the defendant returns for his court dates and to protect the community. If Anthony does post the $250,000 bond, he will be on house arrest, confined to his home with a leg monitor, and cannot leave unless the court grants permission. Asked by Judge Angela Tucker if he understood the terms of the bond, Karmelo Anthony simply said yes. Austin Metcalf's family, the victim's family, was in the courtroom. It was a packed courtroom, not a seat to be had, and the judge did acknowledge the amount of scrutiny on this case, not only from the media, but the general public, pointing out that she's presided over many murder trials involving many different races, and that she has never seen the amount of security precautions having to be taken by deputies as what they're seeing in this case.
Now, that's true. It is wild how this one, I don't know what happened. I don't know what is going on with this one, but people had time for this one. Okay. There's been plenty of other tragic unalivings that have happened over the past 4 or 5 months. And for some strange reason, this is the one that has taken the cake. People are losing their doggone minds in regards to this one for sure. And so I get it that the judge is like, this is the first time I've ever seen such safety precautions being implemented due to this whole case, because people chose to have time on this one, which I wish they would have time on other ones too. You feel me? I just wish they had more time on other ones too, because everyone's having all the time in the world to put out their thoughts, you know, in their on their tweets and their Facebooks and all that stuff on social media. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. But everybody got time today. H, thank you so much for the question. Was there beef between these two young men before this happened? Did they know each other? Now, here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought this up or asked this question, H, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of conversation about how they knew each other, if they actually knew each other or not. There's been a lot of rumors that have not been confirmed yet about, I don't know, somebody's girlfriend or something like that being involved with this whole situation. We don't know the whole thing yet. Okay, we do not know the full scope. But the thing is rumors have been floating out here. Think people have been saying all kinds of stuff. There's been TikToks after TikToks after TikToks of commentators and TikTokers putting up photos of things that I don't even know if it's really them together. But they say, oh yeah, they knew each other. Look, you can see in these photos. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean right now, because I have it already set up and ready to go. Take a look at this. This is allegedly a photo that was taken. In fact, let me just download this so we can look at it, zoom in on it, okay? Because apparently people are saying that they know each other and that this is indeed a photo of these guys together. And when I look at it, I don't see no Austin in this mother-loving photo. All right? But I'm going to share it with y'all. But this is something that people are throwing out here like crazy because this definitely looks like Karmelo right there. Biggity bang. But who are these guys? Okay? Okay. Austin is most definitely not the guy in right here. Okay? Definitely not that guy. So who is this guy? And who's that guy? Real talk. And everyone's like, oh yeah, they definitely know each other. Oh, absolutely they know each other. Look at that. See this photo? They know each other. There is no proof of them actually knowing each other right now. Then you also have the spokesperson, okay, the Dominique guy who did the first press conference on behalf of Karmelo. He even said in the press conference, they've never known each other. They've never crossed paths. They do not, I repeat, do not know each other at all. That's allegedly coming from a spokesperson on behalf of the family. So why would the family or Karmelo lie about that if it was a lie? Why? Why would he lie? That would make no bloody sense, right? So again, the information that's getting thrown out here, that's getting just thrown out here like confetti has not been backed up with any solid proof yet. And this is the reason why I keep urging to my beautiful people out here, all you intelligent, smart, independent, thinking mother lovers out here. This is why I ask you guys to wait for more information to come out from reliable sources or from court documents before we start just going straight for what the streets are saying. Because a lot of times the streets are saying things that are not entirely accurate, guys. Or even true. Not even, forget accurate. Not even true or factual. So again, there's information, there's things being thrown out here. Oh yeah, you know, they know this dude be this, they were friends. Oh, it was all about a girl. They ran, oh, this is the new one. And this is wild, but they say that they were out at a party a weekend before this, and Austin was harassing Karmelo's girl. So then they had issues then jump a week later, or jump over a weekend later, they're at this track meet, okay, or a week later, whatever. Jump a week later, they're at this track meet, and Karmelo just decides, I'm going to go over there because he was messing with my girl. So I'm going to go over there under his tent just to mess with him and his school. And then that's why the whole thing started. All over a girl. There is no factual evidence showing that at all. Like I said, all we have heard is what has been read in the arrest reports and what he said, what Karmelo said when he first was detained. That's it. That's all we've got. We have quote unquote eyewitnesses that are walking out here saying, yeah, I seen it. And it was both of them going after Karmelo. He was outnumbered. We don't have the proof of that. We don't know yet. Right now, that is just rumor. Also, there are people out here that are making up fake accounts, fake sheriff Twitter accounts and stuff like that, fabricating documents to make it sound like Austin was ODing on MDMA at a mother-loving track meet, and that's why he lost his life, on top of Karmelo stabbing him in the doggone chest. All kinds of BS information coming out that people are fabricating and making up to either make Austin look good or to make Karmelo look even worse than he looks right now. That's it. So again, when you see stuff like this, I'm saying, guys, I get it. You want to take a side, that's fine. Do you, boo-boo. But at the same time, wait for the information to come out. Wait. Rely on the facts that we do have, what was written in court or in documents. Those arrest records, or those are, I keep saying arrest records, but those are arrest reports are crucial to this whole situation. Absolutely crucial, because it gives us more insight. You have one person, one eyewitness saying that Austin actually did touch him and then pushed him. Then there's another one that just says that he put his hands on him, that he pushed him. There's those same accounts saying that Karmelo reached into the bag and said, touch me and find out. We hear all of those things. These are all being said in these arrest records. Now, let me tell you something. Because I know some of y'all, I know where your bias shows, Pascal. I see your bias. I see where you stand, Pascal. You know what I stand on? I stand on the information. And the information that has been given thus far says that there was some sort of altercation. He did pull out a knife. He most definitely put it in this man's chest, this young man's chest. And this young man is no longer here. That's it. Stand your ground or not stand your ground. If this is self-defense or not self-defense, I don't know. You want to know why? Because we haven't seen everything yet. And certain accounts are saying one thing and other accounts are saying others. So let's wait for the facts. Let's wait for the information. And I think also on top of that, let's wait for the videos, baby. Let's wait for the videos. I think when we see the videos, it's going to be a completely different thing. I still do think that we wild out here, okay? Because we all want to have it sit perfectly in our narratives, especially those who are heavily making things heavily politicized, okay? This is more political than it is about justice, it feels like, in some regard, okay? If it doesn't fit their political narrative, then they have to, change the lens just a little bit so it works in their favor. And that's the sad part about this, okay? This whole case is literally is throwing a mirror up on America right now. And it's sad. It's sad. Instead of actually sitting back and going, let's wait. We know about this. We know about this. This kid is no longer alive. He is gone. This kid's life was taken. Period. Now, is that self-defense? Is it stand your ground? That is the question that still needs to be answered here. All right? Bad things happened here. Terrible things happened. Karmelo had choices. And here's the other thing, too. And this is just for those out there who are going, skill. Hold on. There are other things we have to put in consideration. Let's talk about Karmelo. Karmelo had a choice not to bring that knife to a doggone track meet, y'all. He had a choice. He had a choice to pull out that knife and use it. He had a choice. He had a choice to walk over to that tent with that bag, with the knife, to sit down. He had a choice. And he chose every single thing. And every choice that he made was a bad choice. Because now we have a kid gone. Doesn't matter what race he is. He could have been black too. Both kids could be white. I'd still be talking like this too. It does not matter. Right is right and wrong is wrong. That is it. He made bad choices that day. And now you have two kids' futures extinguished right now because of one kid making a bad choice. Now, the other thing, too, is like, what happened to the using fisticuffs? Whatever happened to using hands? Putting them paws on you? What happened to that? We don't live in that world anymore. What happened to just walking away? I'm walking away. What happened to that? Right? What happened to that? It doesn't exist anymore, it seems like. Conflict resolution is gone completely belly up. And that's insane. But one thing is for sure, a kid is gone. Justice needs to be served in some way. And we're going to see how that justice is served. Is this full on self-defense, stand your ground, or not? We're going to find out. But I'm going to tell you right now, Karmelo Anthony has every right to fight for his life right now. He has every right to fight for justice, fight for his side of innocence. That is his legal right as an American citizen. So I say, let's look for the evidence. Let's look for the facts. And let's not turn this into a black and white thing. Let's not make this a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative type of narrative. Let's see what actually happens. And let's see how justice is served in this particular situation. Remember, those who are upset about Karmelo doing what he did, you also got to remember, there is Kyle Rittenhouse out there. There is a Daniel Penny. There is a Zimmerman as well. And many, many others, okay, that have walked free because of self-defense. Just saying that out loud. So before everyone gets all mad at also conservatives that are actually siding with Karmelo, understand that a lot of those conservatives were siding with the Kyle Rittenhouses, etc., because they believed in self-defense. Just something to think about. T, you ain't wrong. People are tribal and will resort to sticking what they identify with, hence the divide. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay? The tribal mindset is insane. And the double standard is insane to me as well. It's absolutely insane to me. Because we live in a world where we should be able to look at situations in a colorblind type of way. And I don't mean just black and white. I also mean red and blue. We should be able to look at every single situation, assess every single crime or trial or whatever situation colorblind, and come up with our own decision, right? But like I said, within this situation, people are taking it and they're going on the side of what they feel fits their echo chamber. I say, let's get the information. Let's look at what we got, and then we go from there. And I'm telling you right now, when that video does come out, and it will leak, the body cam footage will leak. There's going to be all kinds of stuff coming out, I'm sure, this week. We will look at it. We will talk about it. And we will discuss it in the best way that we can. Let's look at the facts, guys. The facts. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Real talk. Okay? We're keeping an eye on this. We're going to keep talking about this. All right? And we're going to find out what actually happened here. All right? So do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Hit that like button, please and thank you. Crush it. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on all these other platforms. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed here, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. We got some other videos coming out on that other channel here very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that, all right? Hit that notification bell on both channels so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. Because a lot of times it's random and it is breaking, okay? Hit that join button down below, please and thank you. Hit that Patreon and that Locals. And don't forget, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I know a lot of y'all's blood is boiling. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right? Hey, at least be thankful. At least it's not y'all locked up. Okay? Or y'all dealing with everything that's going on with this case. Okay? So breathe. It's going to be okay. We're going to talk to you very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.